I want it to be a go-to podcast for people wanting to know more about the creative side of Connecticut, because there is so much talent and creativity in this state. It's incredible. Pull up a chair and listen in, because we're here, damn it. This is Georgia in Connecticut. I am your, actually, should we change? Get a little, get your coffee.
Hello! I am not Georgia because I'm here to talk to Georgia from Georgia in Connecticut, talking to her in her Connecticut home. So, what's your thing? What is this whole Georgia in Connecticut thing?
We moved here in 2023 from Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a different energy here. Connecticut is not better or worse than Los Angeles. I'm sure we can argue there's different.
And I'm sure there's many people who would argue in all kinds of directions.
In LA, certain parts are better than Connecticut, whatever. Before I moved to Los Angeles, I lived and worked in Manhattan. What I love about the East Coast is that people just tell you like it is. If they don't like you, they don't like you. And I love that, because at least you know where you stand. Sometimes New Englanders can be a little bit more standoffish. It wasn't as easy to build connections out here, just not as readily. When I'm at a networking event, oftentimes it's like, oh, hi, who are you? And who's that person over your shoulder? And oh, we only have a few minutes to talk because I got to get on to this next thing. And you really want to sit there and be like, hi, how are you? What are you into? And that's just, you just aren't afforded that opportunity at any kind of event. You got to keep moving. So I wanted to do something here in this amazing house that we have. And I wanted to be able to sit down with creatives of all different types and talk about why are they here in Connecticut? What are they trying to do? How can we connect more as a creative community to support one another and continue to build our presence in Connecticut? Because we're here, damn it. You see that?
It says it right there on the mug.
Yeah, and lipstick.
And lipstick.
We're here, damn it.
All right, so best case scenario, what would you like to see this blossom into? We are in the early stages of Georgia in Connecticut.
I want it to be a go-to podcast for people wanting to know more about the creative side of Connecticut, specifically film, television, theater, writing, art, the visual arts, the performing arts, dance, music, these kinds of things, because there is so much talent and creativity in this state. It's incredible.
So other than the podcast, of course.
Yeah.
What else are you wanting people to know you're bringing to the table?
Well, I started in professional ballet. I performed professionally with Cincinnati Ballet, Kansas City Ballet, Ballet Hispanico, Astra Dance out in Los Angeles, and a bunch of other things between. And then I started to transfer into acting. I started training in Manhattan at the Terry Schreiber Studio, and then Mary T. Boyer, one of the teachers there, started her own studio, and I followed her there. Then I also studied at the William Alderson Studio in Los Angeles, Meisner Technique. I studied with the Ivana Chubbuck Studio, and very quickly got into the master class there. Worked directly with Ivana Chubbuck. She's an incredible teacher. They're all incredible teachers.
Yeah.
I have done a ton of short and independent films. Then I broke into voice over acting. That is one of those moments where luck met opportunity. My manager at the time sent me out for an audition. It was in an old theater, like an old black box theater in Los Angeles. I just walked in. There's one person there. They sat me down, put me on a cassette tape practically, and I ended up getting to play the voice of Chromia for the Netflix animated series Transformers War for Cybertron. It was amazing.
I hate to break it to the Decepticons, but they've already won the war.
Not yet, they haven't. There's still some spark left to US servants.
And through that, I've gotten an incredible agent who now I'm getting to audition for all kinds of major animation projects and video game projects and commercials and all kinds of things. It's wonderful. And I love voiceover. It is a whole nother kind of acting challenge, but that's something that I can do till the day I die. I also got thrown into stand-up comedy in LA by that same manager. It was amazing.
No, I did not steal the car. I did not do the drugs. Again. That's what your 20s are for. And your 30s.
And I loved that. That doing stand-up comedy cracked open my voice because especially in ballet, but in dance in general, you're not encouraged to have a voice. It's all about moving your body. And I'm someone who's always had a voice and wanted to use it, but was not encouraged to. So getting to do stand-up, now I'm starting to have an opinion. Now I'm starting to tell stories. Now I'm starting to, just laugh at myself more, not take myself so seriously. And then out of that thing that, people talk about that I think, some people figure out way sooner about, make your own stories, produce your own films. People would tell me that for years, but I'm like, I don't have any stories to tell. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do it. And suddenly, after doing stand-up, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's all kinds of stories I want to tell. And I have, I have several scripts that are in development that I'm working on. It's a very exciting time, all of that coming together. So I think I'm somebody who I have a passion for all the arts. When you talk about your animation, I get excited about it. I love it. I love animation. I'm not going to draw it, but I enjoy drawing. I respect the art and the craft of it. I love talking to authors. I love reading books. As you can see, oh my gosh, I am a bookaholic. I love to sing. I finally joined a band, and that's just for fun. That's just for me. The more things you can do to broaden your horizons, to live a full life, to explore different areas of the artistic craft, the better artist you will be in whatever particular craft you choose to pursue. Because of my passion for all these different things, I think that lends itself to me wanting to listen to people talk about their creative pursuits.
Okay. So your world, your interests seems to gravitate much closer to a large environment, a metropolis like a New York City, a Los Angeles, Hollywood, Paris, all those places. So what brought Georgia into Connecticut to be Georgia in Connecticut as opposed to Georgia in Queens, Georgia in Brooklyn?
I am definitely one of those people I want to go and work in the city, visit the city, hang out in the city. I love the city. I love it. I have lived in Brooklyn. I have lived in Queens. I did not just live in Manhattan. But at this point, getting to live in Connecticut is just fabulous because now I feel like I'm in the country. And better yet, we're only 10 minutes away from Middletown, which is a fantastic downtown artistic hub. So I'm getting like the best of three worlds. I've got my home that feels like it's in the countryside, but 10 minutes away is Middletown. And then an hour and a half away, at most, is the city. Amazing.
If you could improve the creative community here in Connecticut, what advice, what magic wand?
I'd like people to kind of let their guard down a bit. We're all here to create stuff. Let's just do it.
Go to favorite restaurant, whether it's here in Middletown or Connecticut.
I mean, Celtic Tavern is so good. The food is really tasty.
Yeah.
The portions are great, but you're also getting an elevated food experience. But then also the vibe, the atmosphere. It's got this lighting that is somehow dark, but also bright enough you can still see the menu, but it's still dark enough that you feel cozy and cool. It's loud, but not too loud. It's, it can get crowded, but you still have room. The waiters are great. The staff is great. The drinks are great. I don't know. I just love it. And you're not a sponsor yet, but Celtic Tavern, if you ever would like to be a sponsor, love it. If not, I'll just keep plugging you anyway.
No. Celtic Cavern, come be a sponsor.
Yeah, so good.
We'll be right back for part 2 and/or part 3.
This is the part of the show where we would normally be featuring one of our sponsors. We don't yet have a sponsor, but if you decide you would like to be a sponsor of this show, this is where we would be sponsor. If you are interested in becoming a sponsor for Georgia in Connecticut, do reach out to us. The link is below in the show notes or description box.
Welcome back to Cats and Georgia in Connecticut.
That's much
with,
better.
With our special guest star, Ember. So you have been out here for a few years already.
Yeah.
So what have been some of the highlights of things you have done as Georgia Reed in Connecticut?
First and foremost, I got to do this fantastic staged equity staged reading. I never get it right.
Yeah, just put in all the. This isn't like a French lesson where it's like, no, the adjective has to be right.
It was called The Secrets of Brown and White. And I got to play the lead, which was, sometimes playing the lead isn't the most exciting part, but this one was a lot of fun. The reason they cast me in it was because of my comedy. They saw my comedy and said, yeah, we want that timing. And that was a big compliment for me.
Yeah.
And I got to work with a fantastic director and writer. It was a wonderful experience. Let's see what else. Oh, I got to play a heroin-addicted mother in a short film called The Fix, created and directed by Denise Reed and Amanda Greer, and it is now making the festival rounds. They're winning awards all over the place, just great. I myself have not ever done heroin, but I have...
You've heard great things about it.
No. I believe in the kind of acting where you don't have to go and do heroin to play a heroin addict. But I do think that it's finding what is your heroin, right? What is your addiction? What is the thing that is pulling you in? Whatever so substitutions are great. The audience does not have to know what your secret substitution is, and I'm not going to tell you what mine was. But it worked. It went really well. I'm starting to do more comedy shows around here. I'm getting into the comedy scene out here, which is great.
Yeah.
So I love that. And there's a really good comedy community out here. Once for me, for anyone who is working to kind of break into comedy more out here, you really is about finding your group, your tribe, your whatever. So I tried a couple of different comedy clubs and open mics at different places and didn't quite find it until I went to the New York Comedy Club in Stamford. Mm-hmm. And their open mic was super welcoming, super friendly. And I booked a job right off of doing that. That was great. And then I'm looking to create my own comedy shows, either here on location, like in our backyard during the summer months, or I'm looking into locations in Middletown. Really like to do, and like the old fashioned sort of, not just a showcase with 20 comedians, because I think that's exhausting, but the classic opener, feature, headliner kind of setup. So that's in the works. And then I'm starting to develop my own projects. Like I said earlier, writing characters that I want to play that are a good fit for me as well. Stories that I think, stories that I want to see on the screen about women that are just being women, adult ass women being women, living their lives, doing their thing. Tonight on Netflix, adult women being adult women. Fascinating. A show I loved.
Yeah.
A show I love is the sitcom Mom. Now, that's a sitcom. It's a funny comedy show, multicam and everything. But they addressed alcoholism, addiction, and it was a woman-driven show, and it was women of all different ages, all different shapes and sizes, all different everything. The men are there, but they're side pieces, right? They're not the main characters. And they dealt with some dark topics. And it helps, of course, that the two lead actresses were incredible. But then they, when after Anna Faris moved on, and she was incredible, and Allison Janney, incredible. But all of the supporting actresses, incredible. I would love to develop a sitcom like that, or a single camera sitcom called Stepmom. I am a stepmother. I dealt with all kinds of messed up shit being a stepmom. It is in its own way a very difficult role. Being a mom is an impossible role. Being a stepmom is also an impossible role in a different way. And I think it has room for a lot of comedy, a lot of pathos, a lot of uncomfortable conversations and discussions. And I think we might be reaching a point where the world, or at least America, might be ready to see something like that. And I think that shows like Mom have kind of opened the door for that. I think it'd be cool.
Let's shift gears. So what makes a podcast the right fit for a way for creatives to come together?
Because I'm getting something out of it, but also you're getting something out of it too, right? The guests that I'm bringing on, they're getting something out of it too. The big thing in Los Angeles, right? You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. What can you do for me? What can I do for you? It is an industry of relationships.
Sure.
And that is true anywhere you go. And for me, I know I do best when I can have time to sit one-on-one with somebody and really get to know them. A lot of the jobs that I've gotten in life were not because of some audition. It's because they've met me in person. We've spent time and they're like, wow, I like your energy. I like your vibe. Let's work together.
Yeah.
That's what works best for me. So on a selfish level, my hope also for this podcast is that it will lead to more work for me. Yes, absolutely. But if it doesn't, I'm still getting to meet interesting people and feature them. And only good can come out of that, across the board.
Any other areas you would like to explore before we go to break?
I'd like to give some advice to anyone out there who is either thinking of pursuing a career in a creative endeavor, like being an actor or a director or a writer or whatever, or anyone who's been slogging at it for a while. I need you to understand that if you're still pursuing it, that's the win. You still want to do it and you're going for it, that's the win. There are going to be days you want to quit. You know what someone told me one day? I love this. My friend David, another actor, he said to me, I quit all the time. I quit almost every day. I just don't tell anyone. There's going to be down times. There's going to be up times. The industry isn't going anywhere. So just keep going.
I think it's a good time for another break and be right back with more George Reed.
It's time for your Daily Constitutional. This American art director and graphic designer is known for his corporate logo designs, including IBM, UPS, and ABC. He was a professor emeritus of graphic design at Yale University in New Haven, Connecticut, and was inducted into the New York Art Directors Club Hall of Fame in 1972. Who is he? If you know the answer, click on the link below in the show notes or the description box and leave a comment with your best guess. If you guess correctly, we'll give you a shout out on one of our future episodes. And that was your Daily Constitutional.
Well, supposedly Connecticut is full of surprises, or so the slogan goes. So to keep that in mind, we are going to hit her with a surprise list of questions she already wrote. Surprise! Georgia Reed, what is your favorite word?
Insouciance.
And why is that your favorite word?
It means not a care in the world.
On the flip side, what's your least favorite word?
Idiot.
What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
I get turned on by everything. I have a passion for life.
What turns you off?
When you can tell something's been made without a heart. It's been made for the algorithm.
When
It's been made.
it's soulless?
Yes.
What's your favorite curse word?
Turd blossom.
Oh, fair choice.
I mean, cocksucker motherfucker is a good backup.
Is turd blossom really a curse word?
It's the curse word I use when I want to say cocksucker motherfucker.
It sounds a good curse word substitute.
It is. And there's something about turd blossom that just sort of kind of diffuses the moment in a nice way.
What sound or noise do you love?
Your voice.
What else? What sound or noise do you hate?
I hate the sound of an alarm clock before it goes off. You know when you are sleeping and then you wake up because you know the alarm's going to go off and your body almost wakes up before the alarm goes off so you can turn it off so you don't have to hear the Oh, yeah.
What profession, other than the 12 you're already at, would you also like to attempt?
Stunts.
So which profession would you really not ever want to do?
Stunt person.
So
They die.
So you'd like to do it, but hell no, you're...
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Mm-mm.
It's a complicated relationship to stunts you have there.
Welcome to my brain.
If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you pass by his door?
Who'd you like to be this time?
Well, I think we have very well fully explored some of the things that makes you tick, and then as more episodes come through,
Perhaps a dash extra.
and perhaps a dash extra. And I'm sure many more dashes will be coming in future episodes. So now I am finishing up my gig as the temporary host to help you get to know the true host of Georgia and Connecticut. And on the flip side, of course, is her lovely slogan, something to keep in mind with all you creatives in Connecticut, that whether you have always been here or recently arrived, keep creating and keep connecting Connecticut, because
We're here, damn it. There, now we flee.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you really enjoyed the show, leave us a review. It helps us out a lot. Until next time.